day. And that was really my father's last really strong afternoon, visiting with George on Tuesday, and then after that his decline was quite rapid. But I was privileged to be there and as part of that visit too, and hear all the great stories, most of which were probably true from the old days. So Nina and George, thank you for your willingness to share.
Well, Steve texted me not long ago, if you know Steve. He went to the last minute and said, could you briefly speak as a longstanding friend and as a member of the pastoral staff and make it brief? All right, longstanding friend over 60 years, member of the pastoral staff for 29 years, almost 30 years. Is that brief enough, Steve? I guess so. To me, it wasn't just Danny. Pat and Danny came as a team. And I was a young adult then, and I think for most of us, they were a team. They were young people that came to our church. They came from Coons Chapel over in Armstead Gardens at that time, which is better known as Faith Church now, probably a little bit more appropriate name for a church. And they moved into Uplands, into an apartment, and then moved over where they are now, on Hilltop Place. My job when they moved was to carry this gigantic cactus that didn't fit in anybody's car, but I had a convertible, and so we put the top down, and I had to drive that thing from Uplands over here to Catonsville. Probably thought I was doing a funeral procession because I wouldn't move because I was afraid the cactus was going to fall over, and the next thing I was going to have were going to be two pieces in my hands. But we made it there. We got there. And they moved into their new home. Little did they know that when they moved into their new home, that they were going to inherit the young people of this church, because we sort of moved in with them. We were there just about every day or every night when we got off from work or when they got home. They decided to go away and take a vacation, so they left and they went to Wildwood. Well, the next day we jumped into a car. We all went to Wildwood too, so they couldn't even get away from us there. And we came back. It was a wonderful time that we had, and they've meant a great deal to us then. I got a call from the Lord to go to seminary. I had no idea why, but the Lord really put it in my heart that I should go to seminary. So I went and talked to Pat and Dan about it and decided I would go. Ron Smith was going to go at the same time, so in those times, we hopped into his little Volkswagen, and every Sunday night after church, we went back to Philadelphia. I was the only girl in my class when we graduated, and the guys kept asking me what I was going to do when I left seminary, and I said, I have no idea. The Lord brought me here. He'll have something for me to do. And one evening, I got a call that Danny was up at the seminary, and I went up, and he said, the church would like to call you as the director of Christian education. Will you come? And I said, yes, I'll come. And I came down. So at that point, he was not only a friend, but he became my boss. He's probably the best boss I ever had because he never told me what to do. He never criticized what I did. He just sort of slid it in, and you did it. You know, I was never asked. I just did it. And at that point, somewhere along the line, I got the nickname of Bear. And that stuck with him. And until this day, the last time I talked to him, he called me Bear, because that's what he always called me. We worked together very well as a team. We did all kinds of things, and I think the church really grew. He gave me the educational program and said, just go with it, and I did. And the Lord sent us a lot of talented people to work here. I felt that trust that he had in me, and so I did the best that I could in the areas that he would have me to do. There were times that I was a little bit uneasy for some of the things that he wanted to do, but he never pushed me. he wanted me to tell a story on a Sunday night, and I don't think it was Christmas Eve at that time. I just think it was an evening service. And I said, I'm not good at standing in front of a bunch of people. And he said, tell you what, we're going to sing a hymn before this story. And if you want to tell the story, just shake your head after the hymn and you can tell it. If you don't want to, just shake your head no, and I'll just start the sermon. So I said, okay. And the hymn was How Firm a Foundation. And the last verse of that hymn in our hymnal at the time, anyway, it's a different verse in different hymnals, but in our hymnal it was the fourth verse. And it said, fear not, I am with thee, O be not dismayed, for I am thy God, and I will still give thee aid. I'll strengthen thee, help thee, and cause thee to stand, upheld by my righteous, omnipotent hand. And I knew that God would be with me through that, and shook my head, and I told the story. I have no idea what it was. And then I guess the rest was sort of history. For the next 28 years or so, I told the Christmas story every Christmas Eve, a Christmas story on Christmas Eve. I did some other funny things for him. One night I was home in bed asleep, and it was a little after midnight, I think. Those were the days when I slept well. And the phone rang, and the voice said, this is Sergeant somebody of the Maryland State Police, and a friend of yours is on the Beltway out of gas, and he and another friend in the car would like you to come and bring some gasoline. And I said, you've got to be crazy if you think that I'm going out after midnight on the Beltway to take gasoline to some men. Forget it. And he said, okay, I'll just tell Reverend Cox that you can't do it. I said, hold it. Who did you say? And he said, Reverend Cox. I said, okay, tell him I'll be there. Just hang on. So I got up, got dressed. I went to the Hess station up on Edmondson Avenue, I guess it is, or Route 40, where it was. I don't know where I got a gas can, but I got one, and I filled it up. Then I had to go out the Beltway and find out where these people were. Found the car, had to make the turn around at the next exit and come back, and I pull up, and there's Danny and Mr. Moore. They are coming back from Philadelphia, and they're just talking away, and Mr. Moore said, oh, it's such a glorious night, and I'm like, yeah, like 1 o'clock in the morning, and here I stand with a gas can. And so they filled up the gas tank, and away they went, and home I went. I was very touched when Danny asked me to sit in on counseling sessions that he had, when he had sessions with single women. It was a time when people were accusing other people of strange things, and he always wanted everything to be on the up and up. And I felt a great sense of trust in me, that he had that trust to know that I could sit in on those sessions, and that whatever was said in there, I would keep in confidence. And that meant a lot to me. Got to be close to 30 years of service here, and I knew he was going to retire. I was getting too old to break in another pastor. And I said, I think I'm going to retire before you retire. And that's what I did. I've kept up some of the work that I did. He had me take over the confirmation class. Believe it or not, I'm still doing confirmation. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. We'll probably do the last confirmation class I'll ever have, but the boys will be confirmed. And it's just been a wonderful time and a wonderful friendship. I always knew where to go when something bothered me. And about, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago, I received a message, Facebook Messenger, just love those things. And I received a message that truly upset me, and I didn't know what to do. And I thought, go to Pat and Dan. I did. We talked it out and got it settled in my own mind anyway. Whether it ever settled itself or not, I don't know. But all that meant a great deal to me. And I truly loved him. I truly love you, Pat, Steve, and the girls. You've been a second family to me. When my brother was taken away, Danny said, I'll be your brother. And he was. And I love the people of this church and what they've meant to me. But he was special. And I look forward. I would not wish him back at all. I look forward to the day when I see him in glory. Thank you.